Welcome to day 1052 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar world, corporate world of real businesses to the online world. It annoys my online friends, which is why I say I spent, 47 years or 45, 40, yeah, 45 years in 44 years maybe in real world offline businesses, right? Back in different industries, personal care products, engineering, manufacturing, Italian food manufacturing for like 35 years. On the side, well, I spent over a quarter century in corporate America in primarily the quality function, which there's a reason I like the quality function. The quality function, in my definition, was always the department, the division that got to stick their nose in everybody else's business and learn how everything in the organization worked. And I picked that intentionally early on in my corporate career because I wanted to see the inside back way each function of a manufacturing business work. And that was the best way to find that out, unless you're the CEO or the president of a big company, it's pretty hard to know. And even then, you don't know what's really going on in each of these departments all the way down from the bottom up. So I love the quality function because it's how everyone does their job and how everybody interacts with everybody else, the relationship between functions and jobs and processes. And so it's a really fun area. And you also learn a lot. You get an understanding of how people think and how things work in different areas and aspects of a business. So I actually loved doing that. It got me thinking of the topic, and our idiom today for Supersize Your Business was a bad excuse is better than none. Or a bad excuse is better than no excuse. And that comes from the earlier version that said, no excuse is better than a bad excuse. Now, George Washington said that, as did Charles Darwin. And I think I'm with them on the no excuse, not making up an excuse, is better than a bad excuse. If you lie or give a bad excuse or a bad reason or a bad explanation for something, I don't think that's better, because that shows that you are willing to cheat and cut corners or lie or make something up to make yourself look better than just being open and honest in the first place. We're seeing a lot of that in the media right now. It's called illusory truth, where people will start to believe something if they see it, if it's repeated often enough. And there's been tons of scientific studies on that, of course. There have been tons of scientific studies. Back in college, I learned about this, I think probably in a business psychology class, that they did studies of students cutting in line at a drinking fountain. And if they didn't give a reason or an excuse for why they needed to cut in line, most of the time people said no. But if they gave an excuse, even if it was a lie or a really stupid, non-logical excuse, people would like 90% of the time let them cut in line in the drinking fountain line. So there's been all kinds of studies like that replicating this belief that making something up or having a reason why or a bad excuse is better than not giving any excuse at all. That's where the dog ate my homework comes from, right? Oh, you tell your teacher you didn't do your homework instead of telling them that you didn't do your homework because you were playing a video game with your friend, or you wanted to go shopping with your mom or something. Not that we're doing much of that during COVID. And so you didn't get time to do your homework before bedtime. You just make up an excuse. Oh, the dog ate my homework. Oh, I lost it. Oh, I can't find it anywhere. It's in my locker. I think we learn to make excuses at a really young age. Now, to me, excuses are justification or lies to ourselves for why we didn't do something that we said we were going to do, right? It's implied that when you get homework, you're going to do your homework and you're going to turn it in the next day. If you don't, for some reason, do that, there might be good reasons for not. Maybe your mom really did get in a car accident and you had to go to the hospital and sit in the hospital all night and didn't take your homework with you. But, it still didn't get the result that you committed to doing. It's like if you tell your boss you're going to have a project done at a certain time, you commit to it, everybody's got their action items, and then you drop the ball and don't do your end of it. You don't do the thing that you were responsible for, and you make up all kinds of excuses and reasons why you didn't get it done. We all know that the truth is, most of the time we have enough time to get it done. We just set different priorities and we make different choices and we don't get something done. It's human nature, me included, to save things to the last minute. I can't remember if it's what law is it? There's a law or a natural law, or it's named after somebody. I don't think it's not Murphy. Maybe it is Murphy's, part of Murphy's law, but basically that isn't it. I can't remember who it is, but there's a law that says the amount of time that you give to a project, the project will expand and grow to fill the amount of time allotted for that task or project. So if you say, I'm going to clean the basement, and you give yourself 3 months, you will do nothing to clean the basement up until about the amount of time it will actually take you to bust your butt and clean the basement, maybe 3 days or a week. You won't even start it for those 3 months. You'll start it the week before the deadline you gave yourself and then bust your rear. And if you don't get it done, then you make excuses for why you didn't get it done. And we do that to other people, and other people are much more likely to believe and buy our bogus excuses than we are. But every time we do that, every time we commit to something to ourselves and then we don't do it, or we lie to ourselves, or we procrastinate and don't get it done and then make excuses for getting it done, we chip away a little bit at ourselves and at our being and who we really are. You can lie to other people, you can fool other people, but you can never fool yourself. You always know, hey, I told myself I'd have 3 months to do this. I wasted 2 months and 3 weeks. And then the last week I busted it to try to get it done. And I fell short. I didn't get it done. It isn't because I didn't have time. It isn't because of anything else that happened. I mean, short of being in an accident or hospitalized or something, I chose to watch, 5 miniseries on Netflix, or I chose to watch 10 movies or something. Well, 10 movies is 20 hours. Probably could have gotten the basement done in 20 hours, right? So we can make excuses. We can try to fool other people, but we can never, ever actually fool ourselves. We can bring up all kinds of reasons and excuses, but if we actually sat down and thought about and pulled those things apart, we're like, yeah, I hear what I'm saying. I see what I'm doing to myself, but I'm not really hurting anybody. I set the deadline to clean the basement. I didn't do it. So I didn't keep my word to myself. What are the ramifications of that? I think what happens, it's like illusory truth. You can chip away at your own belief system, just like outside forces can present information repetitively to try to convince us of the truth of certain things that we know are lies. The first time you see it, you're like, oh my God, that's ridiculous. I know that's a lie. But then you see it over and over and over again. You see it in multiple medias. You see it in censorship in the online platforms. You see it and programs. You see it in mainstream media. And pretty soon, millions and millions of people start to believe the lies and the manipulation and the adulteration of the truth and the facts to suit someone else's agenda. And we end up in the situation that we're in here in America, where you've got millions of people that have been convinced that we're divisive and we don't agree, and that there's one good side and one bad side, based on illusory truth. And that is really frightening and really scary. And we're actually seeing it play out real time in the world and in America right now. And it's going to be interesting over the next few weeks to months to see what happens. And I'm all for evil being destroyed, fraud being called out and not acceptable. It's like I am amazed at bullying and how that's allowed to continue. I'm amazed at because it's not that hard to shut down bullies. It's not that hard to shut down gangs, yet we have tons of gang violence. Why? Because people look the other way and are afraid. 3 reasons that we make excuses, or 3 reasons we make excuses: fear, laziness, or what's the other one? Fear, laziness, habit. We're in the habit of it. We're being trained to look the other way, to ignore things. We're being led to believe that peaceful protests are peaceful protests, when I have seen firsthand they're not freaking peaceful protests. They are absolute all-out riots and looting. And the media and politicians can say whatever they want, but it's not the truth. And unfortunately, a lot of people that just watch the news, which is, again, manufactured to keep us home, not having anything to do because COVID-19, the pandemic, is shutting us down and keeping us locked in. Don't get me wrong. I am a high-risk person if I get COVID-19, so I'm going to avoid it like the plague. But I'm one of, what percent of the population really has to do that? Maybe 10, 20%, not even 20% of the population needs to be protected and careful. Everybody else should be out doing and living their lives. That's just my opinion. So that was our idiom for today. A bad excuse is better than none. And I say, nope, not for me, not for my business, not for my life. A bad excuse and a lie is still a lie. And it's not only a lie to me that you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes, but the worst part is you're lying to yourself. And that's never good because that chips away at your ethics, your morals, your values, your core, at who you really are. And that's never okay. So I always call that out. And I make excuses sometimes. My example, I haven't cleaned the basement. I told myself at the beginning of COVID I was going to clean the basement, and I still don't have it done. Have I made little bits of progress on it? Yes. Can I make excuses for why I haven't done it? No, because that would be lying to myself. Mostly, I just haven't done it because I haven't felt like it. I haven't wanted to do it. It's a big job. There's a lot of things that are involved in it, and I haven't felt like putting forth the effort to get it done. That's the reason that I used that example. So, soap framework today was day 15, probably the midway mark. We're doing a 30+ day challenge, so we'll do 31 days. So day 15 is about the halfway mark. We've gone through the soap framework once, and I did it for a financial example. When I do my challenges, I actually do them right along with people. So when I give a challenge and we pick an area and tools, I do those tools every day, and I work through it with the people I'm sharing the challenge with. Why? Because it totally benefits me. Not only can I see and understand and relate to them and how they're going through it and where sticking points might be, because those are the same sticking points I experience as well, right? It just makes it, number one, more fun. Number two, it's always more fun to participate than just to talk or watch. And number three, it allows me to learn right along with everybody else. So I learn and morph and grow. And the challenge, this is our 5th 30+ day challenge in 2020, and everyone gets progressively better. Now, I'm afraid that as I go through it, I'm forgetting to share some of the things that I learned in the earlier challenges. I hope not, but it's possible, which is, I think, part of why I added the tool to each day, so that we have, by the end of the challenge, not only have we absolutely positively installed the soap framework into our subconscious so we can use it all the time, but we've also learned or reminded ourselves of 30 different tools for personal development, any kind of growth and advancement we want in our lives or in our businesses or in our families or in our relationships or in the organizations that we're a part of or in any area or aspect of our life. Because guess what? We are multifaceted, many layered onions as human beings. As I don't remember who originally said the onions analogy, but I always think of Shrek when I hear it now, because Shrek says, I'm an onion, I have many layers, which cracks me up every time. So soap was it was actually a quick review of our last 4 days, first time through the soap framework for financial challenge or financial area of our life. The S, the O, the A, the P. We did a day each and a tool for each of those. And now today we're taking a breather, saying, okay, well, what worked, what didn't work, how uncomfortable was I with this, what questions do I have about it? We're going to breathe, take a breather, and then ask ourselves, well, what area do we want to do next? Because we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again and again and again and again and again. And we actually will get it done. We'll go through each of the 7 areas and aspects of our life with a specific example and 4 tools, which is, it's a lot when you do it in one day. I don't guarantee I can stand under 10 minutes for those days. I don't think that I will be able to, because 4 tools and a whole framework in one day, it actually doesn't take that long to do. I can go through a soap framework in under 30 seconds now, and because I do it on a subconscious level. But when you're first doing it, it's a little more cumbersome, and the tools actually help you to work your way through and get better results out of the framework than if you just run the framework by yourself until you've got a lot of practice with it. Then what happens is you just automatically pick the right tool for the right job and the right time through the framework, and you go through it like on autopilot, which is when it's really powerful and fun. It's always powerful and fun, but it's super powerful and fun when it happens automatically for you. Fun challenge today was a memory drawing fun challenge. So it's to draw the inside of our refrigerator and what's in it, and then look in our refrigerator and grade ourselves A, B, C, D, F, because it's written for 6 to 9-year-olds, so they're getting grades on how good we did, how well we did remembering what was in our refrigerator. Refrigerator's a little on the empty side today, so I don't think it'll be as hard as I thought it would be. Haven't drawn it yet. I did draw the framework of the refrigerator, but I haven't written and done what's in it yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to draw pictures of it or if I am going to just write what's on, I think, each shelf and then see how I do. I don't commit a lot of memory to the refrigerator, so I might get a D or an F on that particular exercise. And guess what? I'm absolutely positively cool with that, because that's why we have the refrigerator, so I don't have to remember what's in it. And we actually have a shopping list outside of it. So as we get low or run out of stuff, we just automatically write it on the list. So we don't have to look in the refrigerator every time we go to the store or have to go to the store or have to order food if we're ordering online. We just can look at the list and we know what we're out of. And then the odd things that we forget about, and we know we'll forget about during the week if we don't write them down, like vinegar. I need vinegar to clean out my coffee pot, my Keurig. And I know if I don't write down vinegar, I'll go to the store or someone will go to the store and I'll totally forget to get it. All right, what else is going on? Working on, as part of the Get Up and Go Challenge, the Challenge Summit framework for 2021, early 2021, we're going to do a challenge summit. I like summits and I haven't done one for a long time, so I thought it would be a good use of my time and a fun thing to do. And since I'm loving challenges and I've been loving challenges for decades, it seemed like a fitting topic. And everybody's facing a whole lot of challenges right now. 2020 will go down in history as the year of the challenge, chaos, craziness that most of us have never anticipated or expected to see in our lifetime. And I got to tell you, I don't think it's over yet. I think we're going to see a lot more nonsense coming down the road, primarily because of the illusory truth that so many people have been brainwashed to believe. I think it's going to be interesting and enlightening, but I also think it's going to make the world a better place. And it's up to us to make the world a better place. Nobody else is going to make the world a better place. It starts with us. It starts with us thinking for ourselves, looking for the truth. Really understanding, does that even make sense? In America, it's really interesting. Tens of millions of more people supposedly voted in the presidential election than are adults living in the United States right now. Or even, that counts military and people living abroad. Tens of millions more people supposedly voted. So, there's so much impossibility and so much fraud going on with this, and you get shut down if you say it. So I pretty much just ignore it and don't talk about it. But, the truth is out there in everyone's face, except you've got the media and the big tech companies hiding it, lying, censoring it out, and trying to prevent it from being told. I mean, even things as simple as, hey, this is how the Constitution and our process for elections works. Those are all considered fake news because they don't purport to support what the media is fibbing and lying about. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm actually getting my popcorn out. I got popcorn. It's ready to go. And I'm just kind of watching the show. Bottom line, how will it personally impact me anyway, whatever way it goes? It won't, except for I don't align with lies and fraud and cheating and unethical, immoral behavior. I don't align with it. So I can't get behind anybody that supports that kind of behavior. And I feel sad about that so many people have been duped into believing that unethical, immoral, fraudulent, criminal, treasonous behavior is sanctioned and okay by a certain faction of government and a certain faction of the American people. I think it's that they've been duped, or either you've been duped and fooled or brainwashed by the media, or you yourself participate and believe in unethical, immoral, illegal, treasonous, evil behavior. That's like the only explanation. Either you've been brainwashed and duped and lied to, and you believe the lies through confirmation bias and illusory truth, or you are complicit with that. You think that that's okay. And that's the worst part for me personally, is to think that millions of people might believe that you get what you want by whatever means necessary. Do whatever you got to do to win. I think it's pathetic and sad if that is the way most people think. All right, that's it. That's all I've got today. Have an amazing day. I'll be with you tomorrow. A lot less preachy. I'm gonna pick a much more positive idiom for tomorrow, more upbeat, lighthearted one. Maybe we'll do a Christmas. Start doing days of Christmas idioms or something, and how do we use them in our business. Have an amazing day. If I can help you in any way, or if you have any questions, ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow with another update on what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar world to the online world. Take care.